Wonderful. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here and welcome once again to these new moon meditations, activations, readings, however you want to call them. Today, we're getting together for the new moon in Aquarius, which is a notable event. It's a remarkable moment that we're experiencing today on many counts. Just to start off with, there's two important, let's say, things that come with this new moon. First of all, it's the first new moon that happens in Aquarius since the entry of Pluto in Aquarius, which has ushered or signaled a really important shift of energies. And this is reinforcing and is still related to that entry of Pluto in Aquarius, which happened a couple of weeks ago. Number two, it's the lunar cycle that marks the beginning of the Chinese New Year. So just in itself, with all the energy that it represents, it's also something very important. And so we are in a lot of new beginnings energy. And with that comes a lot of shedding and letting go of energy. We're going to go through this in detail. So just before we started recording, we were talking about the symptoms or the effects that this new moon can have. It's a very, very powerful moon cycle. It's also a super moon, so it has the effects are amplified. So if you're experiencing lack of sleep or difficulties to sleep, that could be one of the effects. Also, if you're experiencing conflicts or realizations as well, things that you never thought, you never saw, maybe can come to your consciousness and can create maybe desires to change or realizations, just that. So a lot of transformative information or realizations or even desires, the desire to change certain things can appear. So first things first, so this new moon is happening at 20 degrees and 41 of Aquarius. Remember, a new moon is when the sun and the moon are together in the same place in the sky. As you know, new moons are always the best time to see new intentions, to start projects, and to begin things. It's the beginning of the cycle. See the best where it's most active is where it touches your natal chart. On the house, it touches your natal chart, which defines the area where it's more potent. So see where 20 degrees Aquarius falls in your chart, and that will give you an idea. I mentioned that it was a super moon before we started recording, which means that the influence is amplified. So perhaps you could already feel that. And overall, for this new moon, we have a lot of Aquarian energy, which is an energy of deep transformation and moving towards a new way of being, almost like shedding a skin and entering into a different skin or growing a different skin. It can happen in softer or more brutal ways, depending on what you have to resolve, depending on each of us. But there's really a sense of really deep transformation that manifests in the way we behave, the way we are, where we live, the people we have relations with, and really all areas of life. Let's go back to the archetype of Aquarius. Remember, it's the spiritual aspect of the air element. It's connected to the higher mind. So it's also the void that contains all possibilities. So it's a very powerful and a very profound concept that we are working with this time. It's related to truth, to freedom, to innovation, sometimes to revolution. So that's what I meant earlier, when sometimes the change and the innovation can be smooth and sometimes it can be more violent. That's where the idea of revolution comes in. But it also bears the ability to connect to others. So it has those two aspects of being original, being unique, being very special, or at least letting our originality express, and at the same time being super connected to others, like functioning in a network, like functioning as a group, and also having the best interest of the group at heart when doing things. That's a very characteristic aspect of Aquarius. The mantra of Aquarius is I know. So it gives us also an idea of that connection to the higher mind and to the fact that we have all possibilities available in that void or in that space of the higher mind. So we are completely immersed in that energy of transformation, and the fact that it's really interesting because it's the fact that the new Chinese New Year is the year of the wooden dragon, and I'll come to that a little bit later, but the fact that it's a dragon is also an agent of transformation. It's the archetype or the archetype that requires you to be aligned in order to give you access to the wisdom, to the fruit, or to the gems that it's guarding, whatever the story that we relate the dragon to. So, and for that, if we're not in that perfect alignment, in axis, that requires a transformation. So the energy of the dragon in relation to that moon is also that. So it's really coming from from everywhere. That information that we have things to transform and the energy is available to do it. That's what it means. It's not just that we are pushed to do things, it's that if we bring our consciousness to it, if we put our minds to it, we have the energy that will help us to do it. And that's really key to have to understand that. And what's really important to understand too, it's going to the depths of who we are. I know we've worked a lot on transformation last year, a lot we did a lot about healing, about reconnecting with who we are, with our essence, with our deepest desires, etc. But here we're kind of touching the foundation, which is why it can feel so hard sometimes, because it's things that we might have thought are defining us. It's who we are in a certain way. And all of a sudden, we realize that, well, it's not working. It's not making us happy. It's not what we truly want. So it can be very destabilizing, sometimes painful. We can have the sense that we're grieving a part of ourselves. But it's very important to hold that space for ourselves. Because what needs to go, needs to go. That's fine. And we still need to go through that process. And for that, we need to allow for that process to happen and to hold that space for us until we let go of what we need to let go, until we go through the entire processing of what's going on, and then birth the new desires, the new ways of being, the new behaviors that we want. Does that make sense? Okay. And all of that of course, is super fueled by Pluto, and its entrance in Aquarius is still very, very, very active. And Pluto is called the renewer. It's really the one that requires that we go to the deepest of ourselves, and it's dying and being born, really. That's the vibe of Pluto. So bear with yourselves, bear with your loved ones and everyone else around, because sometimes it can be very, very deep and very, very painful, and you can completely lose your axis for a moment in time, but you need that unbalance for you to find a new level of balance. So that's why holding space for yourself or for people around you is really important at that time. What else do I have to say about that? Yeah, the other thing as well that it's interesting. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is currently squaring the moon and the sun, which means which can sometimes be a tension aspect. But here, for me, Uranus is, remember, it's about innovation and originality and being out there and having ideas that no one else has. And this is also a way out from those conflicts that can appear. It's really turning things on their head to see things in a completely different way, in a complete new way. And that sometimes can give us can help us transcend whatever we're going through, and go outside of this duality of, this is what I have, I don't want that anymore, therefore what do I do? Well, maybe if I try the craziest ideas, like I don't want to go there, what if I went actually? What would happen? Maybe something good will come out of it. It's just really opening up your vision, opening up the way you see things, your perspective, to find a way that is truly, truly new. It's almost like allowing yourself to believe that we have a clean slate, that even though we have been existing for a few years, it's almost like, yes, we are allowed to have a clean slate. And if I had a clean slate, what would I do? Regardless of what I believe is possible, what I believe is doable, what is it that I want? And what is it that will make me happy? And that's Uranus. That's pulling the energy of being super innovative. So that's the most of the energy that we're dealing with for this new moon. Really an energy of deep transformation. And also bear in mind, I think I've mentioned that before, this year of 2024 is like super speedy. So the work we do, we won't have the opportunity to do it again. So I would say you might as well go all in. If you need to feel super sad, but at least go through the thing that needs to transform. Don't hold back. Not only because things are moving and are evolving, and we don't want to be missing the train, but also because there's so much energy available that it makes things faster. I don't know if it makes it easier, but at least it makes it more possible, for sure, in a shorter period of time. So whatever energy we can latch on, then we ride on that, and we get on it, and we do the work. And I truly believe that the rewards are tremendous, because it's truly strong work and deep work. The other thing that's also beautiful that is happening for this new moon is we have Chiron that is connecting to the North Node. they're less than 1 degree apart. So they're getting very close. They're going to be at the same point in a couple of weeks. But they're close enough to have an effect and to bear energy that we can use. So remember, Chiron is the wounded healer. So it speaks about wounds that we have. Some say that it's our ontological wounds, as the wounds that we were born with. And the North Node is our collective destiny. And the North Node is in Aries, which mantra is I am. So that's a lot of energy available for us to, well, for the wounds to come out, for sure. And we spoke about that before, but also to be healed so that we can connect to our I am. So we can find that alignment. The alignment that I was talking about earlier when I was talking about facing the dragon, or at least accessing the gems of wisdom that the dragon is protecting. It's that alignment that we're seeking between our mind, what we think, what we desire, what we feel, what we want, and the reality that we experiment. And that's beautiful that we have that, because at the same time as we have those conflicts, things we need to heal that come to the surface, we have the energy available to heal them and to come closer to our essence. So we have the steering rod that is shaking us up, but we also have the bomb that is here to help us. And finally, I want to talk to you about fixed star. Remember, fixed stars, well, there aren't fixed stars everywhere in the sky. So when there's one, like, try to find what information it can bring us. And fixed stars have a very super subtle energy, super powerful and super subtle. Their energy is, let's say, 1 octave higher than the energy of the planets we usually work with. It's very potent, it's very focused, very laser beam-like, and very, yeah, as I said, very subtle, but in the sense of very high frequency. That's what I mean by subtle. And we have Al-Janubi, which is a fixed star in Leo, which is exactly to the minute opposing the sun and the moon. So it's facing the sun and the moon in Leo, looking at Aquarius, and they're looking at each other. And El Janubi is in the mouth of Leo. So you can see that it's biting. So what it's asking us to do is to cut and sever the ties with the things that we don't need for our next step. It's very kind of determined and very black and white. It's yes or it's no. If it needs to be cut, we cut it. If we're keeping it completely. But there's no halfway, there's no lukewarm decisions, there's none of that. This is the energy that it's sending us. And funnily enough, in China, guess what it's representing? It's representing the dragon that guards the temple of the realized man. So for sure, like, dragonry is everywhere. So its energy is an energy of wisdom that helps us to see within, to see clearly, to be discerning. So, you know, it's the discernment that helps us to say, okay, this stays, this goes. This is a yes, this is a no. If I'm not sure, then maybe it's a no. You know, but just to be discerning and to take decisions. And also it's asking us to commit to ourselves and to our inner guidance. So this is where also it ties in to committing to our I am, to our access, to our own coherence. And I find that beautiful that it's beaming that out from the other side of the zodiac. So in summary, it's the time to step in our new skin. It might be shattering times. It might be like removing a nice dress and very smooth and gentle. But regardless, this is the time, which is at the same time very exciting. Imagine that. Imagine if you had to create a new personality. I love how, what's his name? What's his name? He speaks a lot about coherence and his name on the tip of my tongue. Dr. Joe Dispenza. I love how Dr. Joe Dispenza says that personality is what creates your personal reality. And I love that expression because it's so straightforward and it says it all. So imagine if you could, from scratch, design that personality of yours, therefore your personal reality. And that's what is available to us. So there's that time to step in your skin. There's remember the healing energy that is available. So whatever waves or how do you say that, storms that come your way. Sorry, I'm gonna shut someone's sound. Yeah, whatever storms that come your way, emotional or in relationships or whatever that come your way, remember that we have the energy to heal that. And also I think with a little bit of discipline, because it requires a little bit of discipline. Sometimes we can be thrown off by strong emotion and we lose our balance. But if we remember everything that we know, it can be meditation, it can be breathing, it can be going into nature, it can be grounding. I think by now, we all have some tools. This is the time to use them, at least to find that minimum balance that allows us to work with whatever conflict we have to deal with. And then we go through that, and then we come out in another frequency and another level of equilibrium. And the way out of conflict is we have two options or two ways. One is to see things through new perspectives. Like I was saying, if we were to draw things from scratch, that's where you remove all limitations because you have a clean slate. So to draw from the spirit of Uranus and Aquarius to try to look at things from a different perspective. And the other pillar that can help us is the commitment to our own essence. By that I mean committing to listening to who we are, to what we truly want. Sometimes we think we want, oh, I have that project, I want to create this, or I want to do that, I want that job, and I want whatever. But if we sit for a moment, we realize, is that really what I want? Sometimes yes, but sometimes not really. It's a response to other conditions that we have. And this is what we are unweaving little by little in order to weave more, how do you say that? Faithful version of ourselves, faithful to our innermost desires, our soul's calling. Does that make sense? Yeah. And I think that's enough information for today, because just that is is already a lot of work. Do you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to share?
Dunya, I just want to thank you for your beautiful essence and for always just presenting things in such a, I don't know, just for centering things in such a way that it feels like an offering, you know. So it's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what it is. It is an offering. Like, I think it would be a shame to believe that we are caught in astrology, like we would be caught in a spider web. I think the best thing is to learn how to walk on the spider web until we get to the center of it. Sometimes it's a long walk, but at least we can try and hop from one thread to another rather than being completely caught in that. So, yeah. Anyone else has? Thank you so much, Veronica, for this. Any other question? Thank you, Elvira. I see the heart beaming there. Okay. Usually, before we go into the meditation, we ask the people of the inner earth what if they have anything else to tell us. Oh, actually, I forgot to light up this. If they have anything else to tell us, so let's see. This is the additional information that we have today. It's from the Chippewas, and the message is love. Beautiful addition to this, and I'm going to read to you what it means. Okay. I'm doing a direct translation from French, so if you see me slow down sometimes, it's because I'm looking for my words. So, love. The pollution of your world comes from the psychic pollution that covers up the consciousness with many veils. The climate worries or preoccupations must find a resonance in your own internal patterns. The earth that is welcoming us needs to be sustained by beings that are beaming a light energy and a creative energy. The germs of pollution are first and foremost inside. And it's in that place that the human must begin by dealing with them. We, people of the divine nature, guardians of the lakes and forests, know that to preserve those paradises, we need to educate those who destroy them. The solution resides in love and the consciousness that the human must open in himself. If you would like to help Earth to purify, it's within you that you have to start. So the key of that message is, if you would like to help Earth, raise your eyes to the spiritual dimension of your entire being. And I'll show you again the picture. I hope you see it. Okay. Today, we're going to work with mudras. So while I'm going to share the pictures of the mudras, just in case you don't remember them and you might not want to open your eyes during the meditation, I suggest that you take a picture of the screen or something. How do I share this? Oh, share. And here it is. Can you see it? So the first mudra of Earth is like this, with both hands on our knees. Yeah. The second mudra, I love what you have behind you, Veronica. This is awesome.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's happening. I think this must be some special Zoom effect. Like, this, if you turn it like this is what you do at a rock concert. So
Yes,
I think that
exactly.
Zoom is being clever and thinking that I'm rocking. Yeah,
Very
baby.
So this is Earth, and this is like on your knees. If you're sitting in a tetrahedral position, in the Indian meditation position, should be on your lap. The water is, you take your right hand, you put your pinky finger at the base of your thumb, and you cover it like this, and you let your left hand take here your thumb and hone your right hand. Yes, like this, Veronica. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you put that on your lap in the center. Yes, exactly. I'm going to leave that on the screen so that if you need to refer to it. The mudra for fire is simple. It's like this. You put your hands together and your thumbs together. And you put that on your lap. Yes, vertical. The one for air, it's your index that you catch at the, I don't know how you call this part of the finger, but the furthest away possible, the closest to your palm. And you extend the 3 other fingers, and that's air. Okay, yeah. And the final one that we're going to use, you place your left hand under your right hand under and your left hand on top, and you join your thumbs. That's the last one, the one for wholeness. Okay. Find a comfortable position. Can you hear my voice on top of the music, or is it too loud?
I can hear you.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you. Find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Stretch, massage your body. And we're going to give our body the information that we are going to work with our energy. Caress, massage your body from head to toe, from your toe to your head. Gently, softly. And when you're ready, come back to a seated position with your spine straight. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And release any tension that is still there, any excess of energy. Your spine is erect, your shoulders are relaxed, your face is relaxed. And check your belly. Make sure it's relaxed as well. Take a few more breaths through your nose at the inhale, through your mouth at the exhale. If you feel you need to release more tension. And when you feel it's enough, come back to normal breathing through your nose. Your breath is soft and gentle. And every time you breathe in, your attention is sharper. And every time you breathe out, your body is more relaxed. And as I breathe in and out, I feel my awareness sharpening with each breath in, every time a little bit more, and my body relaxing a little bit more with every breath. I become aware of the space I find myself in, the room where I'm seated, the house where this room is, the building, the city, the country that I find myself in, the continent, the planet. And I continue to travel away. And I find myself in the middle of the cosmos, surrounded by galaxies and stars, planets, and many, many bright lights. I see all the lights reflected around me, again and again in all directions. And I understand that I am in the universal hall of mirrors. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I look around. In this hall of mirrors, I see myself reflected all around. I might see one, many, or no reflection. I might see myself in my own image or in another form. I just look around, observe, and feel. I recognize that all that I perceive around me is a fractal of myself. and that together we form the multiple aspects of one single being. I understand that any movement, any emotion, any thought, any experience affects each and all of those parts of me. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And with that knowledge in mind, I bring back my attention to my breath, soft and gentle. And I connect to my spine, starting at the bottom of it, in my perineum. I connect to my perineum and anchor my attention there. And I start going up by connecting to my coccyx. I become aware of my coccyx. And I go up, moving to the sacrum, becoming aware of that part of my body. And I continue moving up, moving to the fifth lumbar. And I move up, connecting with each vertebra, stretching my spine, creating space between each vertebra. And I move up, fourth, third, second, first lumbar, and I continue to my dorsal vertebrae. I keep moving and stretching, carving space, creating flexibility in my spine, stretching a little bit more. And I continue moving up until I reach my first dorsal between my shoulders. And I feel my spine elongated, flexible, with more space between each vertebra. And I continue to move up to the last 7 vertebrae, the cervicals. I connect to the 7th, move up to the 6th, creating space. And I continue moving up, creating more space, more flexibility, until I reach the first one, Atlas, the one supporting my head, the seat of my spirit. I feel the stretch and the lightness of my spine, its flexibility, while it's supporting my entire body and connecting me to the earth below and the sky above. And now we will call the 4 elements with the mudras. We start with earth, where we join the thumb with the middle finger and the ring finger of both hands. And with this movement, this geometry that I just created, I feel the anchor, the stability, the solidity it gives me. I feel the unwavering support of Earth. No matter what, I know that I am supported and nurtured. And I release into Earth what I don't need. And I feel a strong, solid force under me, giving me roots and supporting me. I allow myself to connect to Earth, and I grow roots all the way down to the core of Mother Earth. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I connect to water with the mudra of water. I join my pinky with my right hand to the base of my thumb, and I cover the pinky with my thumb. And I place my right hand on top of my left hand. And I put my hands on my lap. And I feel the flow of water going through me in waves, cleaning, taking away pain, sadness, sorrow, fear, healing wounds, and giving me the flexibility to adapt to situations, the clarity to see the gifts behind each conflict. I feel my breath flowing, calm and luminous, bathing my entire body. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I connect to the 3rd mudra, the mudra of fire, the mudra of transformation, by joining the back of my fingers together and connecting my thumbs towards me. And with this geometry, I connect to my inner fire, my inner ability to clear and transmute. I recognize my ability to evolve through my capacity to awaken my inner treasures. I become aware that I can go to the core of every experience, positive or negative, and find the wisdom it holds for me so that I can transform and grow. I feel the fire filling my entire body. And I allow myself to perceive the sensations it creates. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I connect to air through its mudra, where I take my index and push it down with my thumb, extending my 3 other fingers with both hands, now sitting on my knees. And with this geometry, I feel the lightness of my being. I feel the joy of expansion and gratitude for all my experiences. I connect to my ability to speak my truth and act accordingly. And I become aware that when I connect to my truth, all flows in lightness, ease, gratitude, compassion, and joy. I allow myself to feel the air in my entire body, and I welcome all the sensations that I perceive as I awaken to my highest truth. And finally, I connect to the everything. I join my hands, my right hand supporting my left hand, cupped on my lap, thumbs connected. And with this geometry, I connect to unity. I become aware that the elements form the pillars of my reality. They exist within me and all around me. I understand that there is no separation between what is inside of me and outside of me. I am whole, and all I see is reflections of myself. And I understand that I am already complete, and that in me exist all possibilities. And I open to perceive the sensation this creates in my body. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And while maintaining my hands in the last mudra of unity, I perceive a ray of golden light caressing the top of my head. And I allow that golden light to go through all my chakras. It enters through my crown, my third eye, my throat, my heart, my plexus, my sacral, my root, and it comes out through my perineum and extends below into the core of Earth. I feel, I see, I imagine a tube of golden light that it has created along my spine, around my central axis. And I see that light going into all spaces in between my vertebrae, filling up my entire spine. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And that light, that golden light, starts expanding around me in a sphere that surrounds me completely. I recognize that all possibilities exist within me. I understand that creation is choosing a possibility and nourishing it until it becomes a reality. I also understand that I am connected to all in the fabric of the universe, and that together we seek balance and harmony. I am earth. I am water. I am fire. I am air. I am creator of realities. And I activate with the sound of my choice. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly, I reconnect with my physical presence through my breath. By acknowledging the place where I am. And slowly I can start moving, stretching. And when I'm ready, I can open my eyes. Thank you all very much for joining me again today.
Thank you, Dunya.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish you a
Much
wonderful
love.
new moon and a happy Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.